On the Indian peninsula, the architectural wonder that is Hampi, capital of the Vijayanagara Empire.
The most memorable are the ruins of the great city of Vijayanagara, modern Hampi. This, in a way, was the summation of the great Hindu culture of the south.
Once ruled by a charismatic warrior poet, and today one of India's most important historical sites. Sometime in the 1520s, Domingo Pace sat down to write. The Portuguese trader from Goa was just back from a great journey. He wrote of his travels, Chronica dos Reis de Bisnaga, the chronicle of the king of Vijayanagara. Pace describes a city as great as Rome, a powerful king, beautiful bejeweled women. The book is one of the most detailed accounts of Vijayanagara and its grand capital, Hampi, a city that not long after was sacked. Pace wasn't the only overseas traveler drawn to Vijayanagara. Many came to this famed kingdom. They still do.
I think for many travelers, the most memorable sight be you arrive amid these extraordinary playground of boulders that look like fused drops of mercury.
Hampi and the adjoining settlements lie in the valleys formed by the mighty Tungabhadra. A river revered as a lifeline, even today. Natural formations of giant granite boulders dominate the terrain.
Hampi is a place unlike any other in this world.
Hampi is in the Vijayanagara district of Karnataka. Between 1336 to 1565, this was the capital for a series of Hindu rulers who dominated peninsular India. Reminders of this glorious age lie scattered along the Tungabhadra. Across almost 26 square kilometers lie over 1,600 monuments. At the peak of its prosperity, Hampi was said to be second in size only to Beijing, capital of the Ming dynasty, and possibly the richest city in the world.
This, in a way, the great Hindu culture of the south. Temples initially formed by the Pallavas and Chalukyas, then perfected by the Cholas, reaches their sort of greatest form in many ways in the buildings of Vijayanagara.
Among Hampi's architectural marvels is the great temple of Virupaksha. As a place of worship, the site predates the Vijayanagara kingdom and has been here for close to 1400 years. New structures were added on by various medieval rulers over the centuries, enhancing Virupaksha's magnificence. The temple complex contains 3 towers or gopurams. The Raja Gopuram rises 165 feet high. Virupaksha is a living temple. Devotees of Lord Shiva still flock here. 21st century pilgrims hold fast to the 6th century traditions. But that's not all. Virupaksha still hides ancient secrets. In one of the inner chambers, morning light streams in through a hole in the thick granite, revealing a strange phenomenon. On the wall opposite appears a perfect but inverted image of the Raja Gopuram. Like a pinhole camera. It is based on the principle that light travels in straight lines. The hole in the wall of the inner chamber acts like an aperture of a camera. Light rays from the top of the gopuram pass through the aperture and strike the bottom of the wall, while light from the bottom of the tower strikes the top of the wall, forming the inverted image. Did Virupaksha's architects plan this? No one knows for sure. In his chronicle, the Portuguese trader Domingo Pace writes of the king who took Hampi to its zenith. Krishna Deva Raya was the third king of the Tuluva dynasty. He ascended the throne in the early 1500s, crushing the Hindu Gajapati rulers of Odisha. He expanded his empire by almost 3 times in size. Pace describes Krishna Deva as a tough, disciplined king, a man who would rise early, drink a daily dose of oil before a session of exercise. The Portuguese traveller had seen the king in court and described him as a man of medium height, fair complexion and with scars of smallpox on his face. The world Krishna Deva inhabited may be in ruins today, but Hampi's magnificence still shines through. Among its great marvels is the Vithala temple. The temple, dedicated to a form of Lord Vishnu, was originally constructed in the 1400s. It was upgraded by successive Vijayanagara kings. Krishna Deva Raya built some of the entrance gateways, among other structures. Extravagantly carved, the Mahamandapa is an artistic wonder. Some of the pavilions have the famed pillars that are said to make musical notes when tapped. In the courtyard is a stone chariot dedicated to Garuda. Outside, endless columns mark the site of a medieval marketplace, where traders from around the world sold their wares. Hampi's town planning and defenses were impressive. It's estimated that as many as 7 concentric layers of protective walls surrounded it. Only portions of the innermost 32-kilometer ring remain. At strategic places, the walls are as high as 36 feet. The water supply was carefully managed. Kilometers of aqueducts fed giant stepwells and public baths. Within the palace area, the water was channeled to private pools, like the Queen's Bath. The Kamal Mahal was a pleasure palace for Krishna Deva Raya and the royal women. Islamic arches support a Hindu temple roof, an example of the confluence of architectural styles. For Krishna Deva Raya, it wasn't only about conquest. He was much more than a warrior king. He was also an accomplished, multilingual writer and poet. One poem, written in Telugu, still fascinates historians.
Smearing themselves with holy turmeric lotuses for their morning puja.
Krishna Deva's poem takes the reader back to his times. A glimpse into a world of elegance and sensuality. A time when women were center stage. Another stanza in Krishna Deva's poem speaks of the beautiful Devdasis in the temples in his kingdom.
They shake their dice with one hand, their braids become undone.
His verses go on to describe those irresistible women, adding that the mere jingle of their bracelets would stir the hearts of solitary sages. The idyllic dream was to end. The neighboring kingdoms united against Vijayanagara, and great destruction ensued. It is said that Hampi's palaces burned for weeks. The city was deserted, forgotten for centuries. Today, a royal platform called the Mahanavami Dibba stands above the palace grounds. It was from here that Krishna Deva Raya would look over his glorious capital. The view now reveals a tale of sad destruction. only the plinths of once great palaces remain. But Hampi's story has risen from the ashes. Recognized as a World Heritage Site, it is among India's most treasured historical locations, with marvels and mysteries still to be unearthed.